You. Yes, you, young hairy metal singer. Beautiful hair. Oh, so cute. Hey, I need your help. Science needs your help. Would you like to follow me? I'm doing my thesis on the detection of different types of vocal distortion used in metal music. In a few words, my goal is to create an algorithm able to differentiate on stage a clear voice, a deaf growl, a black shriek, and a hardcore scream. After my work will be done, a well-developed plugin could detect the type of voice in real time and apply different effects for each of them. Like, for example, auto-tune on a clear voice, bass boost on a deaf growl, etc, etc. I can give you an example. So here's the musical phrase without effects. And here is the musical phrase with effects on the different categories of voices. In order to do this, I need to build a database containing a maximum of different voices. If you want to have more details about the objectives of my thesis, you can consult the document named EVED Thesis, Presentation of the Thesis, and Prerequisites on Voice Distortion Techniques, located on the drive in the description of this video. You want to help me, young singer? And you want to know how? Oh, an ID. No, you can't help me with this slice of bread, stupid. You just have to give me your voice. That's right. This video and the documents located on the drive in the description are a tutorial for metal singers who have enough equipment to record at home. The safest way is for us to call each other on Skype or any other platform when you start recording. Without further ado, let's jump to the tutorial. You will need the following equipment. One stage microphone, for example this beautiful SM58. Why a stage microphone specifically? Well, my algorithm is meant to be used for live performances, so it makes more sense to use a stage microphone than a studio microphone. If you don't have a stage microphone, choose a good quality microphone. You can use a microphone stand if you have one and are used to using it on stage. You will also need an audio interface, for example this magnificent Scarlett 66, a computer, for example this random computer, earphones or headphones, and finally an XLR cable. Ah, and of course, I almost forgot, I will also need your biggest smile. Oh, so cute. If you don't know where to start to record your voice, don't worry, young singer. I've got it all covered for you. You can consult my tutorial located on my drive and entitled EVED Thesis Tutorial to record your voice with Audacity, Audacity being a free software. If you know where to start to record your voice, you can of course use any other software like Reaper, Pro Tools, or whatever. First, make the necessary connections to be able to record your voice, so connect the audio interface to your computer, the XLR cable to your microphone and to your audio interface, and finally, your headphones to your audio interface. Then, ask your neighbors nicely if they will let you yell like a dying pig for about half an hour. Make sure that you set the sample rate of your session, as well as the quantization, to 48 kHz and 24 bits, respectively. This step is very important. You can also activate or deactivate the sound of your voice through your headphones during the recordings if you are used to hear yourself on stage. Download the file EVED mus pour en AIU lyrics and drag it into your session, therefore creating a new track. Set the volume of this track to a comfortable level. Make a first test recording which will allow you to adjust the preamplification level of your microphone. Wow, it's so saturated. Ha, much better. Listen to this recording to check the quality of it. You can adjust the level of your music track again to make sure you hear both your voice and the music. Warm up before you start recording and imagine yourself on the main stage of Hellfest. Million fans watching, a single savior, a single conqueror on a senseless quest for power, invading Constantinople and finishing off the Roman Empire. Have you warmed up correctly? You may now begin recording. Each recording will consist of 3 vowels, A, I, U, performed for 5 seconds, as well as a sung part on lyrics of your choice performed for 15 seconds. The text must be identical for each category. Here is the list of the recordings that need to be made. I have also given you an example for each category. So here, for example, if we look at the table on the Black Shriek Rose, you can see that there are two categories of black streaks, one in the highs and the other in the mids. And for each category, I gave you an example that you can find on YouTube or Spotify. I also listed some types of saturated vocals that I consider more like effects and for which you won't need to do the vowels and lyric parts. For those, you can record yourself as you like. If you think that this list is not exhaustive enough, you can of course record any other effect that could help me in my research. These two tables might be a bit scary, but don't worry, you can record whatever technique you want among those techniques. Be careful, young singer! If you come across a technique that you don't know how to produce, don't force your voice, skip it. And even if you only know how to produce one technique, like Dev Grohl, I won't hold it against you and your data will be carefully kept. I don't want you to lose your voice on techniques you've never practiced before. Feel free to pause this video on the two tables I just showed to go listen to the examples. Other examples are located in the audio folder of my drive and are audio samples that I recorded myself. If you'd like to know more about the equipment and how to record these different techniques, I invite you to read the document on my drive entitled EVED Thesis, Equipment Required and Recordings to be Made. If you want to understand the terminologies and expectations behind the recordings to be made, you can read the document EVED Thesis, Presentation of the Thesis and Prerequisites on Vocal Distortion Techniques, which will give you more information on these different techniques. The audio file EVED mus pour en AI ou lyrics contains 4 musical parts, 3 parts of 5 seconds and 1 part of 15 seconds, during which you will have to produce each vowel and the lyrics. You can start singing after the 4 snare hits and stop when the music stops. Actually, I don't even know why I'm still talking. In fact, it's really not complicated. Here's just an example in the following sample.
Alive, and you don't even see it. Accept the signs, you can take it, or leave it. Accept the signs, you can take it, or leave it.
The file EVED mus pour en AI ou lyrics that I advised you to put in your session and to listen to during the recordings serves as a reference to make long and well-spaced recordings. However, if this audio file annoys you, you can press mute on it or delete it from your session. And if you decide to record yourself without the music, make sure that the sound produced for each vowel is longer than 5 seconds and that the text part is longer than 15 seconds. Here is a list of the names that you should give to each of the files, which appears in the document mentioned previously and which I have also copy-pasted in the description of this video. Of course, replace last name first name by your last name and your first name. Make sure you export your audio file in WAV 24 bits PCM format. Mute the music before exporting so that the final file contains only the sound of your voice. You can unmute it immediately afterwards. Now you can start a new recording with the other categories in the list. If you know how to do a technique, but you are not an expert in it either, do it and you will be able to evaluate yourself thanks to a self-evaluation table that you can send me at the end of the experiment. Don't forget to listen back to the text you recorded to make sure the recordings are good. But what are you doing, young singer? Bad singer! No cupping! Pas cupping! On avait dit pas cupping! Cupping, the technique of placing your hands around the microphone to sing, could distort the results of my study. During this entire study, you can hold the microphone in your hand or put it on a microphone stand depending on your preferences and, above all, depending on what you actually do on stage. Have you finished making all your recordings? You can now group them together, email them to me in a WeTransfer, attach your self-evaluation table and a picture of your equipment. You can fill in the pre-written email in the annex of the document EVED Thesis, Equipment Required and Recordings to be Made, and also located in the description of this video. If you want to, you can also make like a more personal email where you can tell me how good my hair looks, but yes, you can use your pre-written email. Whew, we are saved. Young singer, I don't know how to thank you. Your data are precious and will be very useful for my thesis. You wanna give me that slice of bread? Oh, young singer, I can't, I'm allergic to gluten. Thank you very much for your participation. Feel free to contact me at my email address in the description of this video, and I wish you a prosperous life. Oh, so cute.